Hello friends, this is Sunil and welcome back to my channel IT Junction for All. In this video, I'm going to discuss about scenario-based interview question and answer part 18. First, the input table. Account table has four columns, namely transaction date, transaction ID, transaction type, and amount. Now the problem statements. Write a SQL query to derive the net balance column based on the credit or debit of the amount. So if you see the output table, for in the first row there has been a credit of 50,000 rupees, and that's why net balance is 50,000. In the second row there has been debit of 10,000, so net balance becomes 40,000. In the third row, there has been credit of 20,000. So 20,000 plus 40,000 becomes 60,000. In the fourth row, there has been debit of 5,000. So net balance will be 60,000 minus 5,000 equal to 55,000. Again in the fifth row, there has been debit of 5,000 and the net balance will be 55,000 minus 5,000 equal to 50,000. And in the last row there has been credit of 30,000, that means 50,000 plus 30,000 will make it 80,000 in the net balance. So we have to derive this net balance column. Let's see how we can do this in SQL Server. We can solve this problem by two methods. First one is by using subquery and the other one is by using CTE. So first we'll discuss how we can solve this problem by using subquery. But before starting, let's analyze the input table once again. So this is our input table. If you see the column transaction type, there are mainly two types of transactions. One is credit and the other one is debit. So in order to solve this problem, we have to go step by step. So first step is to convert the amount into negative wherever there is a transaction type equal to debit. So our first motto is to convert the amount into negative amount wherever there is a transaction type as debit and leave the amount as positive where there is a credit. This is our first step. In the second step, we have to get the running total by using sum and over function. So let's now start. So first we will see the subquery part. So what I'm doing over here, I'm selecting transaction date, transaction ID, transaction type, amount, and then I'm deriving a temporary amount where I'm converting the amount to negative wherever there is a transaction type is equal to debit, and I'm leaving the amount as it is wherever there is a transaction type is equal to credit. So I'm converting this by using a case statement. So what I have written, case when transaction type is equal to credit, then populate as the amount itself. When the transaction type is equal to debit, then I'm converting amount into negative by multiplying the amount with -1 and I'm giving alias as temporary amount. So if I run this subquery part, you can see wherever there is a transaction type is equal to debit, I'm able to convert the amount as minus. So wherever there is a debit, you can see it has converted into a negative amount. Now we are able to achieve our first step. Now in the second step, we have to calculate the running total. So how we can calculate the running total? We can calculate the running total by using sum over function. So in the second step, I am selecting transaction date, transaction ID, transaction type, amount, and then I'm using sum function over temporary amount, which we have derived it over clause, and then I am specifying order by transaction date as net balance. So if I run this full piece of code, you can see we are able to get the net balance. You can see for the amount for the first time there has been a credit of 50,000 and net balance is 50,000. In the second row, there has been debit of 10,000, so net balance becomes 50,000 minus 10,000 equal to 40,000. In the third row, again there has been credit of 20,000, so 40,000 plus 20,000 becomes 60,000. In the fourth row, there has been debit of 5,000, the 60,000 minus 5,000 becomes 55,000. So this is how it calculates the net balance. Now we can see how we can solve this problem by using CTE, that is common table expression. In CTE also, the steps and the concepts remains the same. So we have started the query with keyword, and then I have given the CTE table name is CTE underscore temp amount as keyword, and after that I am deriving the temporary amount, which is our first step. We are using the same case statement, case when transaction type is equal to credit, then amount, when transaction type is equal to debit, then amount into -1 as a temporary amount. So we got this temporary result set and stored in CT underscore temp amount. In the second step, we are deriving the running total, that is by using sum function and over clause. So I'm selecting all the columns, transaction date, transaction ID, transaction type, amount, and then using sum function over temp amount, which we have derived over here, over order by transaction date as net balance. And I am selecting all these from the CT underscore temp amount. If I run this full piece of code, here you go, you got the net balance. So you can see over here, for credit 50,000 it is displaying 50,000, for debit of 10,000, 50,000 minus 10,000 makes it 40,000, and this is how it goes on. So that's all for this video. If you have liked my video, please do like it and do subscribe my channel. Thank you and thanks for watching.